Hi, welcome back to Stories with AJ, episode 12. Technically, this would be 13 if you count the exclusive video from YouTube last week. So if you're not subscribing, you actually missed out on a video. But nonetheless, here we are, episode 12. I'm your host, AJ, also known as Aj, also known as I Can Only Do. And I have my very special guest here, friend, Jesse Fisher.
So,
surprised you didn't do the horns. Jesse and I go back, and it's funny because we're here in our old middle school, intermediate school at the time, and
it was intermediate school.
It sure was.
Didn't even middle school until after we left.
That's right, and we kind of protested that in our 8th grade. I have a sign. I'll put that here, where we used to protest about being, punks and goths, and they used to treat the preps better. But yeah, for another day, another story. But I'm at the steps. We were at the steps where we used to come in and out of the band room, and this is kind of, I don't want to say where the magic happened, but this is where the music happened. And
or close to it.
Yeah.
Beyond the doors that you can't see out of frame.
Yeah, I know, right? But I'm using that light, so I'm not gonna give away all my secrets. Nonetheless, okay. Reason why we're here is I thought it would be fun to go backwards into time, and we would be able to go forward again, to where we are today. But more importantly, let's go back to 2099, 98, 1997, 1998. So you ready? Okay. I don't have any writings, but what we're going to do is I want to talk about a little something that happened with me. Okay. So the story goes, here we are, we're in 7th grade. I got this little cheesy smile with some braces, and I had this math teacher that used to push me, and I didn't like that because I like to challenge authority and damn the man, and kind of stand up and be a man for what that was. In 7th grade, I was like this tall, right? But mathematics, 7th grade, there was this hallway. It was a very long hallway, and before you would start class, you would get the beep or the toner and go beep, and that meant 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes to get to class. It's funny how long 5 minutes could actually be. But my friends and I, whenever we got that first beep, we would hear it, and then Mr. Janowitz would go to the door, and he was ready to close the door and kind of lock you out. But we knew just enough time if we walked real slow, made it real painful. We knew exactly how to get there in that time, and we'd walk through that door, and we hear beep. But we're safe. We're here. We're not late. We're not tardy. And he would get mad. He finally started catching on, and then I remember too, one day I was just trying to rebel and act up, and I went to go sharpen my pencil, and I go crink, crink, crink. And I kind of did it for a minute until some of my peers were like, AJ, that's annoying, shut up. Like, okay, got it, yeah, I understand. But it's funny because I never really liked homework. I never really liked quizzes, but I would do good on quizzes and tests. I just didn't like doing homework. I didn't like to do the extra steps, at home. But nonetheless, so I was always like a troublemaker. Maybe my grades were more of like a D or a C more than they were the A or the B. And I remember parent-teacher conference night, and here is Mr. Janowitz, and he's telling me, you better shape up. You gotta know this stuff. It's not cool to be dumb, and what if you want to join the military one day, and what happens when you try and get security clearance and they have to call me and say, was he a good kid in school? I didn't care. I'm in 7th grade. That's never gonna happen to me, man. But back then, it was the day-to-day norm. It was, just trying to figure out who I was. I was listening to that music, trying to rebel, trying to figure out who I was, thinking that there's so much more. In fact, I remember bringing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to lunch every single day because that's just what I did. And, yes, I wanted nachos. Yes, I wanted pizza. Yes, I wanted to buy other hot food or whatever it was. But just being mad, like, whatever. It's that peanut butter and jelly every single day. It's just that day-to-day thing, and this is middle school, and I just want to get out there, and I just want to do more. But then there's Mr. Janowitz telling me, yeah, that's all great and dandy, but you gotta bring it in, man. And here's your left and your right limit. So I don't want you late to my class. Next day, beep. Friends and I, boop, boop, boop. Get through the line, beep. We're here, we're safe, we're not tardy. Go down to the counselor's office, all three of us. Oh, all right. So we did, and we got our trouble. We had to sit there and we had to wait to be scolded and get our hands slapped. Basically, we told them the story and we weren't late and we technically were okay, but we did get our hands slapped and we were told, not to do that and to be respectful. So, yeah. But that's where I was, 1997, 1998, being a little troublemaker.
All right. So, yeah, it turns out every day, 6th grade on, 6th, 8th grade, I had as well that PB&J. And for the life of me, as much as it was, and still is, my favorite sandwich, I just learned to not hate, but become indifferent to them. It was just Monday through Friday, same thing in that lunchbox. No better, no worse, just was. And that was the thing. Just each day, same thing, same day, same thing, same classes. And just nothing seemed to click the way it used to. You felt that you were getting older and you had these ideas that things were going to be bigger and change, and they never did. And you just kept feeling that you were just stuck and everything was moving past you, and no matter what you did, you were just stuck. And everything that you like, those PB&Js, those classes, everything that used to, if not make you happy, at least didn't make you upset, just became blah. And that led to so many things of just feeling like, if everyone's leaving me behind, then who am I? If I'm alone, am I anyone? And it drove me crazy, and I couldn't, for the longest time, especially in 6th and 7th grade, I couldn't figure it out, except for one thing. And that was, for my birthday in 6th grade, my sister happened to give me what turned out to be the most important gift anyone has ever given me. And it wasn't even meant to be something that I thought I would want. I know, looking back on it, she got me something that she wanted, thinking that I wouldn't like it so she could then listen to it.
Guilty of that.
Neither here nor there. That's a different story for another day. But I took that, and this might be dating myself, but heck, we're already dating ourselves with the whole 1997 thing. I took that cassette, and for longer than I should really care to admit, every morning, the first 5 tracks of that tape got played on loop. And I don't know what it was. Like, there was nothing that drew me to that tape before, outside of it being a gift. Honestly, before I even saw the tape, I didn't even know what it was. Like, I liked playing music, but I wasn't in love with it yet. And then I put that tape in, it hit play, and the first lick of Perry Mason by Ozzy Osbourne started playing. And it was like a wave. And that feeling, it made me feel good on one hand, but on the other hand, it made me feel more isolated and more alone. because I didn't think anyone understood that feeling. I couldn't convey it. And that type of music, as is now, I suppose, time being the circle that it is, wasn't the most popular genre at the time. Wasn't the thing that you wanted to listen to if you wanted to be the popular kid. And by my understanding, being that I grew up watching those Saturday morning cartoons and those Saved by the Bells, being popular was the only thing that mattered, but everything I liked wasn't popular. So I just felt so alone. And I wanted, like, there were thoughts like, oh, I'll just be what everyone wants me to be. I'll listen to what they want me to listen to. I'll play what they want me to play. I'll eat what they want me to eat. But like you, I got in that position, like, no, maybe I won't conform to them, they'll conform to me. Which turns out not the way the world works. And honestly, I'm glad it didn't. Because that would... Yeah, there is nothing worse than thinking that you're alone in the world. And then realizing that the only way to truly be alone is to have everyone be what you want them to be. Because the only person in that case that's themselves is you. So you're still just as alone, but now it's your fault. And that took me ages. I still need to get that in my head every once in a while. It's like, don't change for the world.
No.
But don't expect the world to change for you. And there's an ideology and a comfort to that. Like, no, the world's not gonna. I'm not gonna let the world break me, but I'm not gonna break the world either. We're just gonna do our best. That's all anyone can ask for. Is be the best you. And I wouldn't have gotten to that point, ironically enough, with a 15-second synth opening to a metal track on a cassette tape that was already outdated because CDs were a thing.
Yes.
Remember when CDs
CD
were a thing?
singles.
Oh goodness, yeah.
But-
Kids, you may not remember that, but in fact you wouldn't. But at a time when you wanted to listen to just one song, you could buy a compact disc of just that one song for about $5.
Probably more than that.
Depends on the band. And occasionally, if you were lucky, there would be a bonus track, like a not yet released studio cut.
Yep. I have a few special singles from Blink-182 as a huge Blink fan. But back in those days, you could go to Music Town and Record Town and buy a CD that was like this big, right? But then the plastic around it, the security was boom, 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 boom. So you'd walk like with this rack of plastic just to buy the CD. But nonetheless, good story, Jesse.
Handle for a thing you didn't need a handle.
Right.
Good luck walking out with it.
So anything else on that?
On the CDs, I'm glad we got past them.
Okay.
Plastic was bad, but on the whole, really, especially being on these steps, I think back and like, I know everyone thinks every once in a while, if you can step back in time and reach out to your younger self and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure everyone. There's a few times like I'd probably smack myself in the back of the head. Like you're making a big, but at the time, that's honestly what I tell them. Me. The things that you think are the big deals, they're not the big deals. Those fights that you think are the end of the world, they're not even going to be a memory 10 years from now. Those people who you think are the reason why your life can't get any worse aren't going to even be in your life when you get the choice. And that's the thing. As you get older, you get that choice.
You do.
Same with you.
Well, speaking of choices, if you think about back then, I'm learning my left and right limits. I'm learning to push boundaries. I'm learning to challenge the man. I'm learning to beat my chest, grow some hairs out there. My dad used to say everything puts hair on your chest. Eat more salt, puts hair on your chest. Eat black olives, puts hair on your chest. So I thought that by the time I grow up now, I'd just be massive like Harry, but whatever. Anyway, sorry, too far. But I remember as a company commander, I loved it. I love those years of company command experience. Leading 170 troops is the best feeling in the world. And we were doing an annual training, which is our 2 full weeks of just playing Army. I don't want to say playing Army, but 2 full weeks of actually being on orders, and we're in the uniform and we're doing our daily job. And the truck drivers were driving trucks. That's what we did. And we're hauling marine equipment back to the East Coast, back to PA, back to Ohio, and they're on the road and they're busting their butt. So I said, as a commander, what can I do to effectively say thank you and to give them a good peace of mind? Of course, I'm trying to plan this like party, you know, where we're gonna do like fundraiser, we're gonna do steaks, we're gonna do potatoes, I'm gonna get some beer. Big fan of beer, but and I want to get back there too. But I'm like, in the beginning of the day, what else can I do? And I said, can I do paintball? Why can't I? And so I took all those no's that were coming back to me. Oh, it's too dangerous. No, you can't find the equipment. No, you can't do it. You got nowhere to do it. Well, I challenged the right people. I was able to sign for a part of the range out there in range control. That was just a field that nobody was shooting at. No one was going to be in that area. So we occupied that wooded space. I went to the training team where they bring in all their cadets and the younger trainers. And they had all the paintball gear. They had the guns. They had the hoppers. They had the mask. Perfect. So I signed for all of those. And then the risk assessment. Well, I said, well, I will take your professional opinion. And I will say, I think that this is a low. And I'm going to sign off on it. And I'm going to assume that. So it's not your call. It's my call. And well, lo and behold, we got everyone back. And I told them the game plan. And so for those that want to go play paintball, it was tactical combat operations on the risk assessment, but it was paintball. And so we got to go out there and we had a killer time. And I remember getting out there and they loved shooting me. I don't know why, I was such a great guy, but so
you did all this for them, and that's how you were thinking.
That's how you repay me. But no, there was just morale improved 1,000%. It was so great. And then those that didn't want to do that, they could go do a scavenger hunt, which was pretty cool too. But nonetheless, back to the paintball. That was just something I've never seen in my entire military career, and that's a very rare thing. So to take on that risk and to understand my left and right limit, something I learned way back then, applied to today and using it in a more proper way. So that is something that's really helped me growing up.
Yeah, no, and really the big thing that helped me throughout the years wasn't that tape. Has and always will be music, and it to work towards that brought me. And as I got older and I realized that all the things that I thought made me this isolated loser, semi-goth nerd, music nerd, it made me a part of a family that is bigger than even I could even imagine. And I took that and I took that bond, that family feeling, and I took it to a focus. And if listening to this music makes me feel this way and it makes them feel this way, I want someone to feel that way from something that I did.
Yes.
And so I went and I worked and I found that thing that made me want to be better. And in doing so, I wasn't alone because I was with friends and I was with family. And then to get to that point where I step on stage and there are people there who are there to hear, not see, but hear my music and
Your
my
band.
words.
Yes.
And my art. And then to come up afterwards, I'm like, I felt that. It is something that is indescribable, but oh, heaven help me, I wish I could. Because if I could put that into words, oh, the things you can do. Because it is the highest of highs. It is the lowest of lows. It is everything in between. It is adrenaline. It is righteous fury. It is expression. It is art. And it is something that I never thought I could ever achieve if I didn't put that tape in and press play.
That's so true.
So true.
So those things that, you know, made us separate, or those things that made us feel separate than everyone else, those things that made us outside of the norm, turned out to be pretty beneficial after all.
Oh yeah. And
you know, and especially so today in the corporate world, you kind of feel like the same way, like we're just in that day-to-day. No, because what I do for a living is I'm traveling. I'm breaking away from that day-to-day norms. I'm going to hotels. I'm traveling to this place, to that place. I'm on the road 5.5 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours.
That's rough.
Yes.
That's rough.
But you know, it's all worth it, because, you know, we're always trying to grow. We're always trying to get better. But sometimes, and I think we both agree on this,
Just want that PB&J.
you just want to go home and eat that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been episode 12. It's supposed to be 13, but it's going to be 12. And remember that it only takes one person to change the world. And together, with you included, we can change this entire world. So continue to do great things. We're going to do great things. Keep posted. Keep waiting for next week. We got episode 13, which I'm not exactly sure yet. Maybe I do. Maybe we should find out. Maybe surprises. Wonderful. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.